Murph's face in the corner.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Duffy Women. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. If you've never watched or tuned in, or you have no idea who we are, my name is Shelley Duffy Alexander here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Down below is my daughter, Sarah Ann, who lives here in Pittsburgh as well with her three amazing children whom I adore. And then up in the other corner is my daughter, Alexandra Mary, who lives in Chicago with her husband, Stephen.
Husband Steve.
And
Steve always.
So,
Yeah.
yes. So
Whom we had to call to make sure Alex was alive this morning.
I know. And Steve's like, she's okay. She's coming. But you
No,
usually
that's not what he
respond
said.
in some sort of way.
not.
You're like, hey, we got to get going. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. But he's like, she's coming.
That's not what it sounded like, but that's okay.
That's how I heard it.
Okay.
We were annoying you guys because you're on a little mini vacay. So
Yes, we're up at the lake house. I'm up in Wisconsin right now.
they're up at the lake house. I know. We're just up at the lake house. But that's okay because we're going to our pool right after. So we got to hurry. That stuff to do. The kids and I, they've never been to the pool. The pool's here.
Oh,
yeah, they've never been. So we're going.
are they excited?
Very.
I'm sure.
But all kinds of stuff. We have excuse me, little noodles. We have little blow up toys. So it's going to be fun. And we bought snacks, which is the most important part of any kind of food adventure. We go with snacks and drinks. So anywho, if you have never listened or watched, well, why not? But anyway, please subscribe on YouTube, and it's actually a lot more fun to watch us as it is than it is to listen. However, it is funny. I do listen on my way to work, as I've mentioned before, and I do find myself laughing out loud many times. So it's okay to listen wherever you get your podcast too, because you'll still get a really good effect from the show.
But how you'd miss me in a blanket because it's freezing in my mom's basement. So
why? The basements are always colder anyway. Like upstairs is always warmer. Like it was warm up here, and then I had to turn down the air. But we have two systems. Like the upstairs is one, and then the bottom two floors are one.
You know why? It's always colder in the basement and warmer because heat rises.
Heat rises, yeah, but it's super cold. It's always been. Remember my other basement in the house? It was always freezing down there.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah, really
we like this basement better though.
Yeah. So, how are you guys doing? Everybody have a good week? How we doing? Murph's sitting right next to me here, my little fluff dog.
Kind of cute.
Fluff dog. No, the week was good. I'm sad we have to go home from Wisconsin tonight.
I know. When did you get up there?
We got here Thursday night, so we drive after work. So then we have full days. But I have summer Fridays, and so does Steve. So we have half day Fridays.
No way. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm cutting back at work next month to 4 days, no matter what. So I will have. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get like a Friday or Monday off, so that I always have, like a long weekend. But we'll see how that works out. But I would really, really love that. So
yeah.
But it doesn't matter if I can get cut back and just have 4 days. I'll be happy. Very excited. Okay, so our topic for today.
Oh no, my week was good. I had a really.
You didn't say anything. You were just sitting there in your blanket. So you got to speak up, girl. Go ahead. How was your week?
No, it was fine. It was. Thank you for asking. It was really good. I had a great week.
What'd you do?
It
was Evelyn's last day of school.
Yes, it was Evelyn's last day of school.
Woo! It was, yes. Thursday was her last day of school. And she's a 5th grader officially. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I've been dealing with a mice issue in my apartment, which is also crazy because I live on the 3rd floor, and my landlord rental realty company and I have been going back and forth over this issue for months. And in the latest email, they blamed my cats and said that it was my cat's fault and that my cats must be bringing the mice into my apartment. And I was like,
they're indoor cats.
Meanwhile, my cats live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. You think I just like open the back door and they go down the fire escape? They trot down the fire escape. First of all, that's not plausible at all.
They jump.
The only reason I know that I have these mice is because of my cats.
Because
actually.
they kill them.
They
That's literally
chase
why
them
cats exist.
and get them. And so finally, my maintenance man came over on Friday and like sprayed stuff in the. Meanwhile, there's gaps like behind my radiator. It's a very old building. There's gaps behind my radiators, like where clearly where they're coming in. And I told them this in the email several times, and they just kept like blaming it on me somehow. They were like, "Well, you could set out traps, like blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I had to fight them to even get like an exterminator out, and they like didn't tell me that the exterminator came out and they only did something in the basement. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, that's not the problem. So, my maintenance man, who is a lovely human being, I love him, he came out and he like
They
sealed,
always are.
he like put a board in the area behind my, because there was like a big gap in the wall. And he sprayed stuff and then he put these big like traps out that are not like killing traps. They're like sticky traps or something, I think. And
That still kills them.
That still
but I
kills.
also was, well,
But listen,
I
you've
would rather not
got a
wake
nice
up
car. Yeah.
to I mean, like the problem is that I would also not kill these mice. I would grab them with a bag and then I'd take them outside. And the problem is that apparently um you have to take these mice up to 2 miles away or else they're going to find their way back and they're going to find their way. And I think what happened was it was like a mom and she had babies because they were like really teeny. They were like really teeny babies. And so and then there was a bigger one. So I'm thinking it was a mom who had her babies and then they just climbed up the pipes into my apartment and my apartment was the only one they could get into. And they were like, it's only your apartment with this complaint. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And like, what does that have to do with anything? I was like, that's not my
If
problem.
they're in
Like
your apartment, they're in the whole building. People
I
may not
said,
people
I
may
was like,
not have seen them.
other people
They
might
can
not
get
have
in.
cats. Yeah.
They can
Like,
get into the teeniest,
and you know
tiny.
what's funny is that I told my maintenance man this and he laughed at me, but I was like, they're nocturnal. They never come out during the day because I think there's too much going on. And I never see them during the day. And the only time I see them is at night. And I'm like, what if people don't have cats? Because that's the only way I'm alerted to them is that my cats catch them and my cat ends up playing with it and I can hear it and I wake up. And like I'm thinking, okay, well, what if people don't have cats? Like these mice are just like trotting around in these people's apartments and then probably going back in the wall. Like
Mhm.
anyway, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's so silly, but I mean, thankfully as a tenant, like I'm protected and you know. So, but anyway, but I just haven't slept. Like I have not slept a full night and I was traveling, so I'm just like I was very tired. I was exhausted and I was and like Thursday night there was or Wednesday night there was two in the middle of the night and I literally got 2 hours of sleep because I was like I can't go to bed. So anyway, I've had 2 good nights of sleep this weekend and I'm feeling fresh, feeling funky. And anyway, so that's my life.
Okay.
Thank you for that novel about mice.
Okay, well, you asked. So
We did. We
So
did.
our topic
I just
is
like to rant.
is not infestation,
Oh,
as is going on in Sarah's life, but it's manifestation.
how long were you thinking about that while I was talking?
Well, because I had quite a bit of time to think.
Okay.
It was during the time you were talking.
She had a whole hour to
All right. You know what? Okay.
Do you feel better though? That's
I
the
do.
bottom
Thank you so much. I do. I do.
line. Okay. So,
yeah.
well, I just, and I've said this for a couple of, since you told me about this, they have to help you no matter what. You're in an apartment, you have a landlord, they have to take care of it.
Period.
You know what? It doesn't matter if it's just your apartment or everybody's, which I highly doubt it's just yours, but whatever. But they have to take care of it. So that's on them. And so I would not let up. But I'm glad your maintenance man, who you love, treat him well. You should tip him.
I do.
Yeah.
If he's taking care of you like that, he'll also
Pitch mine.
make you a priority. So make sure you
Yeah.
do.
Give them money.
Anyway, so okay, so manifestation is something that I really really believe in. And when I say manifestation, I mean like I try very, very hard. I'm not perfect at it, but I always try to project and make positive thoughts. That's what's going to be in my day, in my future, in my life. So, and I will give you an example of this. When I first started, when I just graduated, I had just married your dad, and we had lived in an
Jump
apartment.
scare. I said jump scare. You were married
Oh,
to our dad.
yeah, that's so weird. I
Ugh.
always forget.
This is
Don't
where
like.
I remember it. This is where I remember it starting. Let's put it that way.
You started manifesting when you married John Duffy. That's a
Yeah,
moment.
because I was in the,
Good work.
I was cleaning my kitchen. I'll never forget this. And I was listening to B94,
Cleaning helps.
and I was listening to B94, and I'm like, oh, the woman that was on there at the time, I'm like, I can do her job. I can do her job. I can do it better. And I am going to do her job. I am going to have it.
Stop.
I will never forget that as long as I live, ever.
I didn't know this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought this is a great topic, because I've been doing this. So that's, yeah. So back in that, way back, and I remember thinking, I'm definitely gonna, this is gonna happen. And sure enough, by this unbelievable series of events, they called me to do fill in, and somebody had passed it up. His name was Eric Hagman. He was my boss at the time.
Oh, I know that name.
And they said to him, is there anybody you know? Do you want to do it? Do you want to fill in for this person when she goes on vacation? He's like,
What?
yeah. He said, I don't have time. But he asked me, and he said, Shelley, would you like to do this? And I said, yeah. I was terrified, because this was like a big state. I mean, that was a big station back in the day. I mean, huge, huge.
It is, yeah.
And so I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. And I was working at a small station in Charleroi, Pennsylvania at the time, and I would fill in when this person went on vacation. And then there was a whole legal issue that came about. And so the two hosts of the show, their name were Quinn and Banana, they were asked, who do you want to replace this person when she left? And they both said, we want Shelley full time. And so that's how it happened. And I was there. I went full time. I started in 86 part time, but went full time in 88. And I was there until 2016. So yeah, but I was determined that was going to be my job. So,
Period.
yeah.
I
So,
didn't know any of this.
so
That's
my
amazing.
point is, I do believe, and honestly, with this house, with this place here, same thing. We're like, I have been saying, we're going to find a great place. We're going to retire. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Now, of course, there are bumps in the road. Things come up. Obviously, you can't always, it's not foolproof, but I do believe very strongly in putting out good thoughts, putting out good feelers, putting out good intentions, and they will come back. Because if you're constantly negative, oh, it's cloudy today. Oh, it's horrible today. Oh, I feel terrible today. Oh, it's this person's not doing what I want them to do today. Oh, that will come back to you as well. I firmly believe. Now, again, there are exceptions to every rule. I have a friend of mine, one of my dearest friends in the entire world, who is the most positive human being on the face of the earth, but yet she does get knocked down a lot. So, but she never, ever, ever, is not positive. So I don't know. That's my personal opinion. That's my story. That's where it started. And I just believe, like I remember thinking when your dad and I were together, we're going to have this nice house. We're going to have children. That was just always in my mind. Like I always knew what I wanted. And I felt that if I just kept putting it out there, and like I said, this house was also a very, very good example, everything just fell, bam, 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 perfectly into place. It was,
Yeah.
amazing. I know I'm very blessed, and I know I'm very lucky. But I also believe that, we got to keep doing that and talking to ourselves
Yeah.
in a good way and a positive way about our lives, about ourselves, about our kids, whatever it is. So,
Well,
all I got.
yeah.
So there you go. I know you two both believe. Alex, I remember you talking about it as well years ago. So how do you guys
Yeah.
feel about this?
Well, I was really in a witchy phase. I still am, but I don't do it as much anymore. I don't have as much time to like concentrate on it, but I have a lot of books. So if anyone needs to borrow. But no, I think that's a really I agree with everything you said. And I think when you read books or when you talk about, when they're people that are like actually educating or whatever, that number one, saying it out loud. Number two, writing it down is the strongest way to bring
Oh, is
something
it?
forward. Yeah, you write it down so the
Oh,
universe can read it and see it. Or
okay.
thinking it is like the weakest form of manifestation, quote unquote. But again, all of those things. And if you write it down or you think about it a lot, then it's always at the forefront of your mind. So you're better equipped to see opportunities or things that are guiding you back into what it is you're manifesting. So it's a little bit of like magic, and it's a little bit of just stating the obvious and like making sure that it's always at the forefront of your mind. And if it's always at the forefront of your mind, then you're taking steps almost subconsciously and consciously
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
your goal. And you're very clear on what you want, and therefore the universe is very clear on what you get. And the more specific you are, so the B94 example, which I love, I didn't know this.
Hmm.
I'm going to be, I can do a better job than her. I'm going to be the woman on that show on B94, and that specific led you to doing it. So
Now I'm also, I also pray too. So that's also
yeah,
my thing.
I
Like
consider prayer
I
a form of
say
manifestation
prayers.
almost.
I
Yeah,
say, and again, it's just, hey, putting it out there. And I do pray for a lot of stuff as well. So again, but that's for me. But I agree. I didn't know the writing part of it was as strong. So I have a journal. My sister got me a journal, this really beautiful intentions journal for my birthday. And I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to
yeah,
start doing that every day. I am.
yeah.
So,
Write it down.
okay.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
reread it, say it out loud.
Yeah. I love that.
Do it when the moons are new and full. Pay attention to like what cycles start and end with the moon cycles, so
Okay.
you align your thoughts more. That's again, I'm getting into the witchy vibes, but
Okay. Sarah and Duffy. How do you feel? How do you feel, girl?
Do that again.
Sarah and Duffy.
Okay.
mom's a
Okay.
funny one today.
She is. She would think she does an illicit substance, but she does not. That's
Yeah.
her natural state of being.
It is true. People in high school, and this is just a side note, real quick. People always used to say, "Are you drunk?" Like when I'd be at a party or whatever.
Oh,
And
no,
I
no.
never drank till I was 21, and I was like, "No, I'm just this way all the time." So,
but
because
then when she started getting drunk, it got worse.
it was my 10-year dark period. That's a story for another time. But anyway, go ahead.
Ooh,
Sarah, go ahead.
write that down for next topic.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about that.
We
Um,
were around for part of it.
yes, we were.
That might be a vault. So go ahead.
Here. Well, I've got a lot to say, shockingly. And
We have 10 minutes.
I'm timing you.
You did hear about mice for 20 of those. So
okay. The mice took up a really large chunk in my life, so it checks out. Okay.
me out, man. I don't blame you. That's a huge deal. I'm glad you got it sort of resolved. I'm so
At first, I was very scared, and then by the end, I was like, "Get over here!" And I grabbed it with the bag, and like was like not afraid at all.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
I
Okay.
just didn't care anymore. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think with manifestation, it's the problem that I have. No, I don't have a problem. The way that I view it is that all of our paths are already decided, regardless of what, like this is such a nuanced topic for me. And so it's going to be really hard to dissect it in a matter of 10 minutes. But I truly, at the heart of it, believe that like all we are living like we are all living multiple lives at one time, and all of our choices that we make are a reflection of where we are in that moment. And even the littlest tiniest of choices can launch your life in a completely different direction. And so I think the way you make your choices in your head and the way you decide things is your subconscious being or your inner self telling you this is the way you're supposed to, this is the way it's supposed to happen, this is the way. And so I do believe with manifestation I believe in the energy of it all. I believe in when you start attracting it, I mean, it's energy, really. At the end of the day, everything is energy. Everything in this world and in this universe is energy or made from energy. And it's extremely incredibly powerful to um, once you get a hold of it and once you learn how to use it in your favor, it can become incredibly powerful. But like I said, like you referenced your friend who has bad luck, even though she's very positive, like that's what I mean. I think that sometimes there are just situations that are just meant to happen regardless of why or how. Um, but I do wholeheartedly believe that the more you speak positivity into your life, the more like it's also the way you view it. You're more likely to see the positivity in your life. And you're also more likely to see, because if you focus on the negative, you're just seeing the negative. And if you focus more on the positive,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see more positive, results or see more positive things. And I try really hard to like live in that state and not beat myself up when I feel negative thoughts I
That's
I started.
important.
Yeah.
Positive self-talk, I
Yeah.
think, is the basis of all
Yes.
manifestation, period. And I learned that in therapy more
Yeah.
than anything
Yeah.
else, because the more you talk down to yourself or beat yourself up or don't give yourself a break or don't give yourself grace, that's the trail you're going down more
Yeah.
often than not.
Like I used to get really angry. I mean, I still do in the car. And like I had really bad, like I would just be really impatient in the car, not so much like road rage. I would just be impatient. Like I would be really angry at everybody for like being stupid.
Yeah. Well, I get that.
Which
Believe
is like
me.
understandable. But at the same time, though, I have to realize like today on the way to your house, there was a car in front of me who was going super slow and the light was green. And normally I'd be like, go, you idiot. It's green. Why are you going at a snail's pace? But then in my head, I'm like, okay, he's either older or he doesn't feel rushed. So whatever the case may be, he's either older. There's a case in where he doesn't feel the need to go as quickly as I feel the need to go. And that's not something that I'm going to use. I'm going to worry or get upset about. And so it's just like that energy that you put out and that, you know, giving people grace when as much as you possibly can brings more peace into your life. And so I just think the positive thinking of like, and I guess that's not really manifestation. I'm sorry, I'm off topic, but
No, but it's all no, I
all
think I
energy
do
and
think
it's
it's all
all
related.
it's
Yeah.
all it's all positive. Like I guess that's a scenario in which you're trying to shift the narrative to a positive or it's little situations like that. And I also do want to touch on, I posted a TikTok recently, you guys have both seen it, but I also believe very much in astrology and like again there's a reason for all of this and I think this goes back into ancient times of the like Alex said with the moon phases and being born at a certain time and I looked up Ivy's birth chart
Oh my God,
and
that's crazy.
oh my God, I mean it's so funny because I had like hundreds of comments basically saying the same thing about who this child is and they don't know her, obviously they don't know my child, but based on her chart and her astrological sign and the way the planets were aligned when she was born and the time she was born, she is going to be a very specific way. And when I tell you that all of the comments were saying the same thing, and that is Ivy to a T, like it's stuff like that where I'm like, we are who we are from birth. We were destined to be who we are. And, really speaking into or like playing into that or um leaning into the energy that you were given and um just I don't really it's hard.
It is
It's like that's what I'm saying. It's a bigger
an
spectrum for
abstract
me.
kind of topic. Yeah.
Manifestation is like it just is it's like a little part of such a bigger thing in my life. Like I
The
do
door.
I think changing your view on or trying to have a positive mindset is incredibly difficult with every scenario. It's incredibly difficult to keep to be positive 24/7. I mean, it just is.
Yeah.
And but I also noticed that it's easier like in days of my cycle. Like I am
I've been noticing that too. I'm
like
started writing a daily
mhm,
journal and more
mhm,
like what I felt, like just like how I felt, what I ate, where I
yeah.
am in my cycle. Because I swear to God,
Hmm.
there are weeks where I am so much more capable of
Yes.
doing
Yes.
larger things. And
Uh-huh.
I want to start paying attention to it so that okay, if I want to do hard things or a lot, do it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's what I'm
that's
saying. I think that's also important to like when you are feeling those moments of like, okay, I can't be positive right now. Like it's okay. Like I
Yeah.
know that this is temporary and I know that
Yes.
this is just not it's harder for me right now and I'm going to allow it to be harder for me right now. But I saw something the other day that said the more energy you give to the negative feelings, like the longer it's going to take over your life. And so if you accept the feeling in the moment, you acknowledge it and you say, okay, well, I know that I'm feeling this right now. It's okay, but it will go away. It will end. And I think that's like the tricky thing with manifestation is because like I think some people go really hard and are like trying to be positive 24/7, but it's a delicate balance of being able to be super positive and have a good outlook, but then also giving yourself grace in those moments of, okay, well, I'm going to be negative right now and it's not going to affect the trajectory of my life. Like
you
that's
have
just,
to be able to feel things and
yeah,
you have to be able to go through it.
yes,
Just with the death
yeah.
of my mom and just, again, there's still some very difficult stuff coming up related to that. I I let myself just be in that moment and just be like, this sucks,
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no positive. You can't think of like,
a
you don't
positive.
have to out positive it. You don't have to,
I
um,
don't think I learned this until recently.
yes. Well, that's the thing is that I think what gets me too, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll wrap it up. But I think I always, and I'm sure you feel this, mom, too, because you're older than us, obviously. And I mean, I don't mean that like she is, but
Yeah.
I think like I look back at myself and I look back at like 20-year-olds now, and I'm just like, just give it like a minute. Like just you learn so much. You learn so much about yourself in your
Oh
20s
my
and your
God.
early 30s. And
Mhm.
I mean, you learn so much about yourself, but I feel like those are really formative years. And so I just struggle sometimes seeing people in their early 20s and like even late 20s, like really trying to figure it out. And it's just like,
Mhm.
give it a little bit of time. Like you don't have to, um, but that's the luxury of age. You
Well,
don't,
and that's
so you don't know.
you can't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? People make fun of older people, but yet we, by this time, like it's wonderful. I mean, it now I don't know everything. I'm still learning and I want to still learn until the day I take my last breath. I'm learning how to navigate you guys. I'm learning how to, navigate life in general. I'm learning how to, be older and in pain and, have to deal with stuff that you don't normally, but you learn from every single day, every single experience, every single situation, and you just keep taking that with you. You take the good and leave behind the bad. And I've always said that with you girls, with your parents. You take the good with you, you learn from everything and leave behind what you don't like or what you consider the bad. So yeah, so I agree, Sarah, 100%. And it's a whole big thing. But my point, I guess, the way to wrap it up, it doesn't hurt. Let's put it
Hmm.
Yeah.
to put the
Yeah.
positivity out there cannot hurt no matter what,
Hmm.
whether it works or not. Maybe it's just a psychological thing, but it cannot hurt in any way to be positive, to be kind, to do the things that make your life better, that make the lives around, the people's lives around you better. It cannot hurt. So
Well, like I said, like I think it also your circumstances might not change every time, but you are more capable of seeing the good in your life when you are speaking good out into the world. And so I think that's also important to remember is that things might not change and that you might not see quote unquote results or whatever, but you can notice more or be
mhm,
more positive and it takes a weight off of your shoulders to not be so
absolutely.
negative all the time.
I love
So
it.
really this show was about putting out positive energy more than it
Positive,
was
kind,
manifestation. But it's
Well,
positive.
I think,
okay.
but it's like manifestation is encapsulated in
No, I agree. I
positive
agree.
energy. Manifestation is the. I
Well,
was
it
going
could
to
be
say,
negative too, though. It depends on how you choose to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you constantly put out negativity, you're manifesting that. If you're
Well,
constantly putting out positive,
ooh,
trying to. Hey, again, are we keeping you up there? You know, you're putting on
I
makeup.
literally, I, I literally, I'm a sleeper. Okay. And I had to wake up
I don't
at
know how I produce two
9:30.
sleepers when I never sleep and just go, go, go. Like
You know what? I got such hate for it for forever. I gave up caring. I don't care. You want to make fun of me for liking to sleep and
I,
to rest?
I don't. I'm just fascinated
You
by
You
don't?
wait. Fun fact
that.
about
That
women specifically who lay around their homes, it attracts wealth. According, I believe it's
Socrates.
no. It's an Asian culture feng shui type thing. But I've been seeing that. So haha, mom. That's
Haha.
okay. Well, then where are your millions? And please share them.
I have millions in my heart.
No, your dad was a sleeper though. Your dad, whatever he had, any kind
Oh yeah.
of, it was a nap. It was
I
nap.
love a nap.
Now
I
he's a
love
hard
it.
worker. He's a hard
Yeah.
worker, very hard
I love
worker.
to lay.
Oh, wait.
But he also knows when it's time to just chill. So that was
I
always,
love to lay.
and I'm learning that. So okay, do we have a listen but don't judge?
I do.
Okay.
I'm scared.
So I'm scared too because I've made fun of Sarah for this before. So she's gonna have this over me, but I feel like this is the right time to do it.
I'm listening.
So I and I think you can only say this about your own cats because if it were like other cats, I wouldn't. Like it's Leo, but he has cat breath, stinky cat breath, and I love his stinky cat breath.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right.
I can't explain it. I hate myself for saying that. I do. I literally want to die. I don't want
When they
anyone to know.
yawn and they open their mouth, and you're just like,
I will never get that face that you just made out of my head. Like that's embedded.
I love it.
It's so cute. Like
It's
he's
so
just a
cute.
little
I'm
baby.
not into that.
Stinky. It's
Okay.
so stinky.
Okay. Yeah.
Stinky.
I can't believe I said that.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
but
Once
I
you
will
accept,
say this. I let my dog, like, I'll give him ice cream on my finger, and then still use that finger. And I've actually let him eat from a spoon.
Whoa, Shelly. That's really not like you at
No,
all.
I draw the line.
yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
I do that with Cash. Like I'll give him cheese. I'm like, whatever. Dogs saliva is actually like really clean.
They say that. That's
I'll
what
make
I've
out with him then.
There's a
No, I don't want him to do that, but
there's a vet that's very well known here in this
yeah.
area. He's like, yeah, believe it or not, they're saliva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not cats though.
If you if you have not already subscribed to Duffy Women, please do so. We would love it if you would follow along and follow our escapades. And it's basically just, we're three women, a mom, two daughters, talking about a lot of stuff that most moms and daughters probably don't tackle or don't want to talk about or deal with. And we've had some pretty up and down moments during our shows, but we love each other very much, and that's really what it's about. So please subscribe on YouTube so you can watch the face that Sarah actually made whenever she was imaginary sniffing her cat's breath, which is worth its weight in gold. And then you can also listen to us anywhere you get your podcast. So please do that as well. And until next week, Sarah, you're going to have to bring your computer.
Computer?
Yeah, we're going to be at the beach. We are going to be in Sandbridge, which is the Virginia Beach area, in a house right on the ocean. I can't tell you, I've never been on a beach vacation with my grandchildren. It's been on my bucket list, which I've been like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So this is the year that we're doing it for the first time. And I'm hoping it'll be the first of many years doing it. So we will talk from Sandbridge.
I hope you two don't kill each other. That's all.
Oh, I don't think so.
There's going to be enough alcohol.
Yeah,
so that's true.
There will
and
be
illicit substances that will be fine.
And then too, I will just go out and look at the ocean, and that will calm me immediately.
So yeah,
we can brawl, but we're going to be brawling on the sand.
Yeah, we'll be brawling on the sand.
Well, I'll have lots of FOMO, but send me pics.
Okay.
I wish you were there, but
I know.
well, we love you so much. I love you both, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks again for watching Duffy Women.
Mom, I'll see you in like 2 seconds when I come upstairs.
Okay. We're going to the pool.
Have fun at the pool. Bye.
Toodles.